If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my story. Your support helps us continue sharing hidden tales of love and loss. Let's build a community where every broken heart finds a voice. Thank you for being part of this journey. She clings to me, aware that her heart has found a soft haven in my embrace. She whispered to the one who held her heart that if she chose to walk away from me, she would be left with nothing. She remains blissfully unaware of the shadows that dance around her heart, oblivious to the truth that lingers just beneath the surface. Once, I had dreams of crafting a gentle approach, but now, after absorbing every word, my heart filled with intense longing to express my turmoil. What's happening, my dear friends? Wishing everyone is wrapped in warmth and joy. I wish for everyone to be thriving and in good spirits. Once again, we find ourselves entwined in a tale, dear friends. As always, I will weave a link into the description, a familiar gesture in our unfolding tale. The title speaks for itself, doesn't it? Let us embark on this journey together. And thus, he bestows a name upon it. As the moment approached, a sense of trepidation filled the air, casting a shadow over my heart. In the summer's embrace, a heart once whole found itself shattered. After 7 years of shared dreams and whispered promises, the discovery of hidden messages unveiled to express my turmoil that cut deep. The words exchanged between her and a longtime friend painted a vivid picture of intimacy, laughter, and a connection that felt like a cruel twist of fate. As I read their exchanges, the echoes of our own struggles were twisted into something unrecognizable, leaving me to grapple with the remnants of a love that now felt like a distant memory. Oh, how tragic! How utterly sorrowing! It's a heart-wrenching moment, discovering the express my turmoil, realizing the whispers that have been exchanged, and knowing that you are the subject of their secret conversations. She whispers sweetly to another, sharing secrets of you, a mystery wrapped in intrigue, leaving you in the dark about this unknown soul. In the quiet moments of our shared life, a shadow looms, one that whispers of distance and misunderstanding. It's a feeling that tugs at the heart, a bittersweet ache that lingers. I try to convey that perhaps we are stepping into a new chapter, one where comfort wraps around us like a familiar blanket, yet it may feel a tad mundane. After years of togetherness, the spark can dim, but she sees it differently, believing we've grown apart. Even as we navigate our days filled with laughter and intimacy, there's an unspoken tension, a longing for connection that seems just out of reach. Here lies the truth of our journey. She remains blissfully unaware of that truth. In the quiet moments of reflection, I find myself entangled in a web of memories. I've sought counsel, and the papers are being prepared, yet my heart feels heavy with the weight of our history. This isn't the first time our love has been tested. Once, she drifted apart while we were still discovering each other. We took a breath, a 6-month pause to mend our hearts, and then we reunited, believing in the promise of forever. Now, in those rare conversations, we touch upon the shadows of her past, a bittersweet reminder of the fragility of trust. In a moment of vulnerability, I expressed to her that if she ever drifted apart again, it would mark the end of our journey together. For 6 beautiful years, we had navigated life hand in hand, but a year ago, a chill began to creep in. She started to withdraw, turning away from the warmth of my affection. It seems that the distance between them led her to seek solace elsewhere. Now, as time has passed, we find ourselves in the present moment. For 3 weeks, I held onto a secret, waiting for the right moment to reveal my heart. At first, she seemed distant, her eyes avoiding mine, as if the universe conspired to keep us apart. But this week, a shift occurred, a flicker of guilt danced in her gaze, and I sensed a spark of interest igniting. She began to express her feelings through small acts of kindness, washing dishes, cleaning, cooking, each gesture a silent apology, a way to mend the invisible rift between us. It felt as though she was caught in a storm of her own making, punishing herself for something unspoken, while I stood by, hoping for a chance to bridge the gap between our hearts. In the quiet moments of reflection, I find myself grappling with the weight of express my turmoil that has seeped into the fabric of our once beautiful connection. Trust, once a cherished bond, now feels like a distant memory, overshadowed by the pain she has caused. Though our financial struggles have been manageable, a reluctance to contribute has left me feeling like the sole bearer of our shared dreams. She has finally taken a step towards independence, yet it feels like a mere shadow of what we once envisioned together. Despite the turmoil, a part of me still clings to the life we built, worrying for her well-being as I sense the darkness that could envelop her. The thought of divorce looms heavy, a bittersweet necessity that fills me with dread. I fear the sorrow that will follow, the loneliness that will echo in the silence of our empty home. I wish for her to find happiness, perhaps even with someone new, yet the thought of letting go feels insurmountable. How do I navigate this painful path ahead, knowing that the end of our story may be the only way to find peace? Oh, allow me to share my feelings. In the midst of a tangled web of emotions, she had drifted apart before, leaving him heartbroken. They had taken a chance on love, rekindling their bond after a 6-month separation, believing that marriage would weave a stronger connection. Yet, the shadows of express my turmoil loomed once more, as she faltered again, unaware that he held the truth close to his heart. It was a delicate dance, this waiting game, as he grappled with the weight of his decision. The thought of surprising her with the end of their story lingered in the air, and while updates awaited, one couldn't help but wonder how he managed to keep his composure. Perhaps he was simply biding his time, with a secret plan waiting to unfold. Perhaps fate has a way of revealing its truths, but it was evident that welcoming her back was a misstep. In those tender moments of young love, when you were simply boyfriend and girlfriend, her express my turmoil cast a shadow. After a 6-month pause, you offered her a promise of forever, yet she faltered once more. Such a sorrowing turn of events. In the depths of your thoughts, you whisper to yourself that she has shattered your trust, leaving you feeling utterly betrayed. Yet, you find yourself lingering on the question, how do I truly know? I want to part ways with her, yet the fear of sorrow and solitude grips me. It's as if my heart has already been shattered, we share a life, yet I feel so alone. She's found her way into someone else's arms, and the echoes of their shared moments linger in the air. It's a bittersweet realization that it's time to release her, yet a flicker of hope remains. As we navigate through the thoughts of others, one voice stands out, urging resilience. Stay strong, my friend, they say. She may cling fiercely, caught in the web of her own uncertainty, not quite ready to sever the ties that bind her to you. In the distance, another chapter awaits, a different story unfolding in the months to come. Resist the allure. Hold fast to your principles, for loyalty is the foundation upon which love is built. It is the essential thread that weaves two hearts together in a bond that endures. Kindly share with us the moments when you finally finalize our separation. Yes, and he will keep us posted. She's putting in her time at a minimum wage job. In the depths of her heart, she's likely to battle fiercely to hold on to you. You are her anchor. Yet, whispers linger that she may never find the courage to part ways with the one who secures her comfort. How disheartening it is to encounter those who think only of themselves. Another soul expressed gratitude for this gift. We'll share the news when the moment arrives. What's that? He's signaling that he'll make changes, and if she falters, it will be her own responsibility to bear. I hope that as you mend, you discover someone who mirrors the love you give. Someone mentioned that since you've managed to stay silent this long, it might be wise to wait until everything is settled. Honestly, I admire your strength to remain composed through it all. You possess a resilience I can only aspire to. Wishing you the best, and let her friends carry her weight now. At this very moment. Oh, I can't fathom how you managed to endure. It's a mystery how you found the strength to hold on. It was impossible to ignore, and yet, there it was, a testament to the strength that blossomed within. I'm at a loss, truly. How could you have stayed, not saying a word, as if nothing was amiss? It's as if you were caught in a moment, frozen in time, unable to take that step away. In a moment of vulnerability, I found myself grappling with the weight of express my turmoil. When the truth revealed itself, the pain was undeniable, and the thought of playing along felt impossible. I had to confront the reality, to shatter the facade that had been built around me. It was a tumultuous journey, one that demanded strength and resilience. Others recognized the depth of my struggle, acknowledging the courage it took to remain silent for so long. In that shared understanding, I found a connection that resonated deeply within me. My emotions are like an open book, impossible to hide when it comes to matters of the heart. It feels like a beautiful moment, truly. Oh, how he responded to that. He confessed that the beginning was challenging, yet there was a spark of resilience within him. People often remarked on his remarkable strength of spirit. Perhaps it was that, or maybe they thought him a bit unfeeling for navigating through it all with such determination. In the quiet moments, I find myself lost, a stranger in my own heart. In the midst of uncertainty, I find myself captivated by your strength. Others have whispered that true reactions remain a mystery until one is faced with a moment. Perhaps you instinctively embraced a fierce survival, guiding you to this very point. The express my turmoil of those who deceive is a bitter pill, revealing their own shortcomings. My heart ached with the fear that my beloved might struggling emotionally after our parting. Yet here you stand, fiercely protecting your own heart and well-being, navigating through the storm with grace and determination. Hold on tight. Reach out to me if you seek comfort. A kind soul once whispered to prepare for an overwhelming connection. She won't let her chance slip away without a fight. You are worthy of so much more, seek someone who matches you in every aspect, particularly in what you hold dear. No, let's take a moment to explore the update together. Very well. Here begins the first chapter of our tale. So here we are, just 3 days away from a moment that will change everything. It dawned on me that the timeline might stretch beyond 3 days. My lawyer will present the paperwork in 3 days, yet I must take my time to read through it meticulously, ensuring everything is in order. Thus, it could take a little longer than I initially thought. In the shadows of love, a heart trembles with express my turmoil. Last week, I uncovered the painful truth of my wife's infidelity, yet I remain silent, gathering my strength before the inevitable addressing the situation. As I delve deeper into the tangled web of her hidden truths, I unearthed a complete log of her messages with the man who has stolen her affection. The depths of her express my turmoil are more profound than I ever imagined. The realization that this stranger knows intimate details of my life, while I stand in the dark, is a torment unlike any other. It's a heart-wrenching revelation that leaves me feeling utterly exposed and broken. It was as if she believed that every action she took was a step towards unraveling him, quiet determination to dismantle the very essence of who he was. She remains indifferent, lost in her own world, while the guy she's entangled with could very well be a hopeless romantic. He can venture out, driven by a fierce passion, intent on confronting this man. Oh, you felt her presence, didn't you? Or perhaps you're not taking this leap for her sake. In a world where emotions run wild, there are those whose hearts beat with a darkness that feels insurmountable. It all started with a whisper of express my turmoil in July, but the truth unfolded like a tragic tale. Her heart had drifted apart long before, as May revealed the shadows of her secret encounters. And before that, from March to May, another chapter emerged, one filled with reckless passion and danger, entwined with a soul lost to inner battles. The story now counts 4 hearts entwined in deception. And so, we turn the page to the latest chapter, the current partner in this tangled web of love and loss. In a twist of fate, she wove a tale that painted him as her knight, casting shadows on our bond. She whispered words that twisted the truth, claiming I was unkind and harsh, a narrative far from reality. This spun a web of justification for him, leading him to play the role of the protector, convincing her that she deserved a love far greater than mine, labeling me as unworthy, a mere child lost in the chaos of their unfolding drama. He saw himself as a guide in matters of the heart. She would share her frustrations about me, and he would offer insights on how I might react or the reasons behind my actions. The one she was drawn to was advising her on navigating her feelings for me. It was bewildering. The issues that troubled her were unknown to me, as she had never voiced them. Yet, here he was, a stranger to me, believing he could foresee my every move. He reveled in the power he held over others, boasting about it with a sense of triumph. He believes he's a master of matters of the heart. It's quite absurd, he holds the title of a church minister. He spoke with a certain pride about guiding a group of teens towards a deeper connection with their faith. In one moment, he recounted how he facilitated a breakup for a young couple, portraying himself as the savior who then consoled the heartbroken girl, who had spiraled into despair. She had fallen for his charm, completely unaware of the strings being pulled behind the scenes. He labeled her living situation with me as a prison, casting me as the misunderstood soul in this tale. Yet, I am the one who embraces her, who supports her, who greets her with warmth after her long days. She is my treasure, cherished above all else. I must admit, I hold self-improvement in high regard, believing that everyone should strive for growth. However, over the past decade, I have watched her remain stagnant, her dreams fading as she struggles with her weight, having left college, and now working a part-time job that barely sustains her. I endeavored to inspire her growth. With a hopeful heart, I invited her to join me at the gym, to share in the thrill of sport and movement. Yet, she turned me down, her reasons cloaked in silence. For 4 long years, I had been her steadfast supporter, carrying the weight of her student loans while navigating the stormy seas of my own mounting credit debt. What compelled you to take that step? Each week, I found myself gently urging her to seek out a fulfilling job. She never did, despite my gentle pleas for her to embrace the world of learning. In the beginning, I offered her the world, believing she could chase any dream her heart desired. Yet, as the seasons changed, my gentle encouragement turned into a quiet plea for her to invest in herself. With each passing year, my patience waned, and the frustration began to seep into my words, casting shadows over our once bright connection. I found myself lamenting her inaction, yearning for the spark that once ignited our shared hopes. I acted unkindly in that moment. Once upon a time, I found myself lost in a whirlwind of harsh words and unkind judgments. Years ago, I made a choice to silence my criticisms, just as her heart began to wander. She loved me fiercely, even in my moments of cruelty, yet now that I've chosen kindness, her affection seems to have faded. How could this be? Isn't it captivating? My criticism was never born from a place of animosity. In the journey of life together, I see marriage as a beautiful partnership. It was meant to be a beautiful balance, where she would stand beside me as my equal. I longed to help her find her place in our shared journey, but she hesitated, pulling away from the very connection we could have nurtured. I believed we were destined to be each other's pillars, offering strength and support, yet somehow, we drifted apart. She leaned on me, seeking solace in my presence, now that I'm in school and she craves a little support. She has faded bond, her heart wandering into the arms of others, while bitterness simmers beneath the surface, all the while avoiding the truths that linger between us. In the midst of a tangled web of emotions, she finds herself caught between her choices and the whispers of another. She confides in him, seeking solace, and he echoes her thoughts, predicting my responses as if he knows me better than she does. The weight of her secret spills over to her mother, who, instead of siding with her, sees through the facade. This revelation ignites a fire within her, a frustration that her own flesh and blood cannot validate her actions. In her quest for understanding, she turns to the one who fuels her justifications, a companion in her turmoil. Yet, beneath her bravado lies a heart heavy with shame, masked by the need to paint me as the misunderstood soul. She struggles to grasp the depths of her own feelings, while I remain an open book, my pages laid bare for her to read, even as she remains a mystery to me. In her heart, the reflection she holds of me is a shadow of who I truly am. She clings to the memories of the person I once was, unaware of the transformation I've undergone over the years. Yet, she remains, tethered to the comfort I provide, knowing that stepping away would mean losing everything she cherishes. She confided in another, revealing her fears of a life without me, and in that moment, I felt a bittersweet pang of realization. In the midst of a whirlwind of lectures and assignments, I find myself navigating the vibrant halls of academia, where every moment is filled with the promise of knowledge and discovery. Once, I was able to shower her with the attention she deserved, but life has pulled me in different directions, leaving me with less time for her. I can't help but wonder if this shift in focus is what led to the express my turmoil, as she now feels like a challenge rather than my first priority. She dances on the edge of chaos, and here we find ourselves, entwined in this moment. I've immersed myself in every word she has penned. She remains blissfully unaware. Though I know of her unkind ways, the moment draws near when I will take a decisive step. With divorce papers arriving on Wednesday, I find myself counting the minutes, feeling an emotional storm. I once hoped for a gentle parting, but now, after reflecting on everything, I feel a fierce desire to reveal my truth. I want her to truly grasp the weight of her actions, to feel the impact of her choices. Last week, I shared my reluctance, but now my heart races with anticipation. I long to read her words exchanged with the other, to reveal the complicated situation. I yearn to illuminate the shadows of manipulation that linger in the air, to show her the truth that lies beneath the surface. In the midst of a heart-wrenching chapter, I find myself seeking solace and guidance for a delicate situation. Our beloved dog, cherished like a precious gem, has become the center of a passionate struggle. The bond we share with this furry companion is profound, yet the path ahead is fraught with challenges. With financial constraints looming large, I yearn for a way to safeguard our cherished friend without the responsibility of exorbitant legal fees. How can I navigate this emotional labyrinth and ensure our love remains intact? In a rush of emotions, she finds herself caught in a tempest over the beloved dog. Balancing a part-time job, she might just have a secret admirer helping her through this. I can't help but think of a plan, to gather my belongings and the dog, slipping away before she even knows what's happening. Yet, the clock is ticking, as I must return to school in September. There's so much more to this tale, with countless messages exchanged, weaving a complex narrative of love and express my turmoil. Oh, how thrilling it is to share this delightful news! It feels like a rush of emotions, and my heart races with excitement as I unveil yet another update. As I stand on the brink of a new chapter, I find myself reflecting on the journey that has brought me here. This is my second update, a moment to share my heart with those who have offered their unwavering support and wise counsel. Your kindness has wrapped around me like a warm embrace, reminding me that I am not alone in this. I may have rushed into a countdown, eager for the next step, but the universe had its own timing, and now the pieces are finally aligning. I envision a week from today as a pivotal moment, yet I know that life often dances to its own rhythm. My soon-to-be ex-wife remains blissfully unaware of the truth I uncovered over a month ago, while I quietly prepare for the inevitable separation that awaits us both. I've been sharing my days with her, pretending that everything is perfectly fine, and that realization leaves me in awe. In a world where secrets linger in the air, I find myself captivated by the enigma of her oblivion. Each day, I navigate the delicate dance of unspoken truths, watching her as she reaches for her phone, unaware of the silent storm brewing around her. The moments slip by like whispers, and I could have unveiled her hidden connections countless times. Yet, she remains untouched by the shadows of her own heart, her password unchanged, and her thoughts still drifting towards him. He exists in her world as just a friend, yet my heart races when she speaks his name. I strive to maintain my composure, even as a tempest brews within me. There are moments when I entertain thoughts of unraveling her happiness, but deep down, I know that such schemes would betray my own values, regardless of the outcome. Some days, the weight of my unspoken anger feels unbearable, and it all unfolds like a surreal dream, blurring the lines between reality and desire. I find myself in a place where my heart resides. I find myself pondering if you're caught in a web of your own making, holding everything inside. Yet, having spaces like this to release those feelings and hear others' thoughts brings some solace. I must admit, we had a significant clash about our bond, a moment where I confronted her about the many choices that hurt us, all while keeping my deeper knowledge hidden. I told her she didn't love me, that I hadn't mattered to her for quite some time. That was a week ago, and I've been using that addressing the situation as a shield. Now, when I feel anger or distance, she believes it's all tied to that fight. I was the glue holding us together, but now, with the truth of her express my turmoil unveiled, I find no reason to invest any more energy. Our connection has faded bond, leaving us in a fragile state. As I poured my heart out to her, a flicker of understanding danced in her eyes. It was as if the truth had finally found its way to her heart. Since that moment of conflict, she has turned her gaze towards me, leaving behind the shadows of her past entanglement. It's clear this isn't the way it was meant to be. She picked me on that beautiful day we vowed to share our lives together. There should be no hesitation in this matter. She has been pouring her heart into showing me affection and reaching out to connect. Indeed, she fears the thought of losing. She clings to her support, yearning to make everything flourish. Yet, from where I stand, it feels like a whisper in the wind, far too faint and far too late. There's nothing she can do to rewrite the tale that has already unfolded. In the delicate dance of our lives, she crafted a space for us, yet now finds herself entangled in the consequences of her choices. The spark that once illuminated our connection flickered as her place at the heart of my world was questioned. Instead of reaching out to me, she sought solace in the arms of others, believing their attention could fill the void. It's almost comical, really, how the men she turned to for affection failed to elevate her to the throne she once held. One man, distant and aloof, left her waiting in silence, while another, bound by the ties of his past, made it clear that his child would always come first. Even as they exchanged sweet nothings, the reality remained, she was not even second in his life. How could she find comfort in such uncertainty, yet struggle with my dedication to my studies? The irony of it all lingers in the air, a bittersweet reminder of what once was. So here's the update as of today following our intense moment. She has chosen to stay with her parents for a few weeks to find some clarity. This brings a sense of relief for me. I no longer have to fret about her staying or any unexpected addressing the situations. She may do. She already has plans to return. Little does she know, I have orchestrated for her to receive divorce papers the day after she arrives at her parents' house. So, I have a week to go, and it can't come soon enough. As much as I long for it to be over, it signifies that this is also the final week. I will always cherish the moments with my dog. It's a bittersweet reality. Our hearts are intertwined, yet the future feels so uncertain. There are reasons that weigh heavily on my soul, making it seem impossible to hold on to him. The thought of his absence leaves a profound ache within me. It seems that you might not be able to care for him due to the circumstances surrounding the dog. Let's explore the other update together, shall we? It seems the last update caught her off guard with a flurry of documents. Oh, my friends, I made it happen. She was taken by surprise, her heart shattered by the unexpected revelation. In a rush of emotions, she found herself taken aback, grappling with the loss of her anchor. Meanwhile, I unearthed the truth about my wife's hidden connections over a month ago. Rather than confronting her, I chose a path of quiet resolve, meticulously crafting a plan to gently untangle our lives with minimal disruption. For the past month, I wore a mask of normalcy, showering her with kindness, engaging in light-hearted conversations, and presenting gifts, all while my heart quietly ached. This is where my journey stands now. As we turned the pages of that one, it felt like time had stretched into an eternity. My heart raced with the urge to confront her. Words dancing on the edge of my lips, yet I held back, knowing it would only complicate my world. Instead, I channeled my energy into the gym, preparing myself for the battle ahead. I meticulously gathered evidence, crafting a narrative from over 450 pages of our shared moments. I opened a new account, ready to make the necessary moves, all while gently persuading her to seek solace at her parents' home, creating space for what was to come. In a moment of foresight, I envisioned the very response her family would display. With a swift move, I froze her credit card, bearing my name, and transferred half of our shared fortune to a new debit account the instant I learned the papers had arrived. Yesterday, she departed, hand in hand with her mother. In a moment filled with warmth, I embraced her gently, whispering for her to take care of herself. She responded with a soft okay. But as dawn broke, an unexpected visitor arrived at her parents' home, delivering news that would change everything. She was blissfully unaware of the storm that was about to unfold. Her parents insisted they understood her intentions. They remained blissfully unaware of the unfolding drama. She found herself taken by surprise, her emotions spilling over in a whirlwind of confusion and despair. It's a rush of emotions, really. I find myself in a state of disbelief because, believe it or not, I still haven't spoken to her. Her mother reached out, and I had to share the essence of what's been happening, keeping it to the important bits. Even amidst all this chaos, her mother is stepping in, trying to mend the pieces for her daughter. It's truly disheartening that I can't share the intimate details of my bond with my wife in a private space. Here is a 28-year-old woman, allowing her mother to step in and speak for her. Yet, I once cherished a good relationship with my mother-in-law, who encouraged my wife to nurture the love we share. In a moment filled with tension, I found myself navigating a delicate situation, maintaining my composure while emotions swirled around me. My mother-in-law, with her words laced with implications, seemed to place the weight of responsibility on my shoulders. She painted a picture of me packing up her wife's belongings, suggesting a journey of 4 hours to return items that were, in essence, just t-shirts and lotion bottles. I had to hold back my feelings, biting my lip as I processed the absurdity of it all. In a moment filled with tension, I expressed my feelings, stating that it wasn't my responsibility to bear. She responded, her voice laced with emotion, suggesting that if my respect for her was genuine, I would grant her a favor. Oh, how her words echoed in the air, revealing a deeper entanglement in our lives. It felt as though she was reaching too far, attempting to sway my heart and mind. I countered gently, reminding her that her plea had little to do with the matter at hand, and I could easily turn her words back to her. I hoped she would understand, pleading silently for her not to try to sway me again. In this moment, I find myself extending a hand of respect, choosing to keep many matters unspoken. The path to court looms ahead, where I could unveil the truth of express my turmoil, a journey that would weigh heavily on both our hearts and wallets. I hold the memories of our beloved dog close, and the thought of revealing the affair to those who trust her partner stirs a tempest within. Yet, I strive for simplicity and peace, hoping to navigate this with grace. And now, as if sensing the shift, she has chosen to gather her belongings, a quiet resolution settling between us. As I stand here, anticipation fills the air, waiting for them to take that first step. I can only imagine the wheels turning in their minds, perhaps seeking counsel to challenge the bond we share with our beloved companion. The question of ownership looms large, a pivotal moment in this unfolding tale. In a tale woven with complexity, her mother lightly whispers sweet reassurances, soothing her heart as she navigates the stormy seas of her own choices. With each secret rendezvous, she casts shadows upon her husband's name, sharing whispers of discontent while still seeking warmth and affection in the quiet of the night. It's a dance of contradictions, where love and express my turmoil intertwine, leaving others to ponder the depths of her soul, perhaps hinting at a struggle within that echoes through the corridors of her heart. She whispered, "I believe she does." It felt strange, the way they fretted over such trivial possessions at this moment. Indeed, it was peculiar. My beloved is not navigating this journey by my side. Indeed. Should I turn away from her mother? Perhaps my wife is struggling with her mental health, I suppose. Should I allow them to retrieve her belongings? My heart aches at the thought of facing this. It feels like a storm brewing inside, and I wish for nothing more than to escape it all. My heart is open and sincere, yet they seem to weave a web of deception around me, and it stings deeply. In the quiet corners of my heart, a struggle brews. I find myself contemplating the lengths I must go to, feeling the weight of being the one who carries the responsibility. It pains me to realize that I have often been seen as nothing more than a source of support, a means to an end, while my love feels overshadowed by the demands of others. This realization stings, and I can't help but wish for a different path, one where love is not measured by the bills we pay. In the quiet moments, I find myself grappling with the weight of unspoken words. The tension hangs heavy, as if the air itself is charged with unresolved feelings. I wish we could sit down and share our thoughts like two souls intertwined in understanding, yet here I am, caught in a web of misunderstandings. The sting of express my turmoil lingers, especially when I recall the moments when trust was shattered by hidden truths. Each time I pass the ice cream aisle, memories of her flood my mind, and I can't help but wonder what flavors would bring her joy. Yet, despite the longing, I feel like the misunderstood soul in this tale, misunderstood and alone in my heartache. How tragic it is to be painted in shades of blame when all I seek is clarity and connection. Well, my dear friends, I shall share the link to this enchanting tale. As I weave the threads of this tale, I will share the link in the description, as I always do. I eagerly await your thoughts on this chapter of our journey together. This tale unfolded in a captivating manner. In the quiet moments, he lingered, holding on to his thoughts like a secret whispered in the dark. Yet, as time passed, The weight of unspoken words began to press upon him, leaving a shadow of regret. It felt as if his dreams had slipped through his fingers, not quite unfolding as he had envisioned. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, so share them in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next chapter of our story.